So hey, what is up, buddy? Before we start the new episode details of hurting God's new pisode, I want to say we are very close to 1,000 subscribers, so do subscribe. So, welcome back to another video of Tales of Hurting God, and I hope that you people are doing very well and enjoying yourselves. Before moving forward in the video, I would like to say that if you haven't checked out the previous episode yet, go first and watch it. Otherwise, you won't understand anything here. And if you have seen it, then without any delay, let's start today's video. So, as we saw in the last episode, Qin Mu, along with the Imperial Advisor, reaches there to fight that masked man and all the sect members present. All these people had laid a trap so they could finish off the Imperial Advisor and the scholars of the Academy all at once. But then Qin Mu also brings all the people of his demonic sect onto the field, and at the Imperial Advisor's signal, he takes all the scholars far away from there, while the Imperial Advisor starts fighting everyone alone. During this time, Qin Mu's friends find out that Qin Mu is actually the leader of the demonic sect. Then, a fierce battle breaks out between the Imperial Advisor, the masked man, and the other three old monsters. During this, Qin Mu notices that this masked man is using the Nine Dragon Emperor technique, which belongs to the royal bloodline. Qin Mu realizes that there is a traitor from the royal family present among them. In the end, just as the Imperial Advisor was about to finish this man off and discover his identity, a giant Buddha statue arrives and saves his life. And further, so yes, our episode starts from exactly where the last part ended. We see that the same giant statue arrives, with many people riding on top of it. When Qin Mu sees this sight, he cannot believe it. He opens his eyes and says that he can't even see their eyes. Who are these people? Then we see that gradually, this giant statue comes very close to them. They see that many people are present on top of this massive statue, standing in different poses, which was very mysterious. Then we see that black-clothed man who, seeing this sight, says, "Look, the hypocrites of the Great Thunderclap Monastery have arrived, those who were spared out of mercy years ago." As soon as he says this, the entire demonic sect starts insulting them. To this, all the people from the Great Thunderclap Monastery shout back, "Shut your nonsense." While the war of words continues between them, Qin Mu says, "It seems my demonic sect and the Great Thunderclap Monastery's sect don't get along very well." We see some members forcing Qin Mu, asking why he isn't speaking up. To which he also shouts, "Yes, yes, you guys are very bad." Then one of them shouts, "If you have the strength, stay here and don't run. I will keep cursing you for the next 3 days and 3 nights without stopping." During this, we see the giant Buddha statue continuously approaching the Imperial Advisor, and its shadow falls over the masked man, who looks up in surprise. We then see an old monk who, with a single gesture of his hand, makes changes to this large formation and starts cracking it completely. Due to this, cracks appear in the barrier, and he gradually breaks the entire barrier. With this, the monk says, "Imperial Advisor, it's good to meet you." But then he says to the man nearby, "Fellow Taoist, will you do me a favor?" He pulls the man, over whom the sword was hovering, towards himself. The Imperial Advisor says, "I am listening to you. I want to know what you have come here to do." The monk explains, "You have fought a good battle. But you have put so many people to death today. You have completely destroyed so many inheritances. Therefore, I want this to be enough. I want you to turn this hostility into friendship because I know the Imperial Advisor is a wise and sensible person. I have heard a lot about you, so I think you can turn today's incident into good fortune. Anyway, you know that if you do good to someone today, you will surely get it back. So I hope the Imperial Advisor understands my point." Hearing this, the Imperial Advisor says, "As the Imperial Advisor, I would like to consider your point. But the person standing in front of me is actually the leader of the rebels. If I forgive their mistakes today, I am sure they will repeat the same mistakes in the future. And after that, their condition will be many times more painful than it is today. I hope you will not ignore this either." The monk says, "All right. For now, let all of them join my great laying temple. Then you won't have to worry about anything, right? So tell me, Imperial Advisor, what do you think of this offer?" The Imperial Advisor falls into thought. Meanwhile, we hear the voice of the lady among the 3 old monsters, who says, "Old Buddha, if you join us, we are sure that with your help, we can finish this Imperial Advisor right here, because leaving him alive is dangerous. If he can kill us so ruthlessly here, imagine what he will do to you and your people later. I am sure he will destroy the sect. Why the delay? Let's join our forces right now and put him to death." Hearing all her words, the old monk says, "You should think a bit before speaking. regarding the imperial advisor and what he thinks of me and my people, how he treats them. There are many people in this world who believe in our sect, so we have no shortage of people. As for our sect, the Great Thunderclap Monastery, it never survives on the mercy of the imperial advisor. I just want to say that if you guys are willing to come with me, putting aside your personal grudges, then it's good for you. But if you stick to your path and still value your personal grudges more than your lives, then you can stay here and fight. I am leaving then. As soon as he says this, we see portals opening one by one, through which Duke Wei and all the warships enter and surround these people, their cannons aimed at them. Duke says, "What is this man doing here?" To which the imperial advisor explains, "That old Buddha you see is actually the leader of Zen Buddhism. His purpose for coming here is only to maintain peace in the world. If he succeeds in this task, we shouldn't have an issue. And anyway, I myself have become very injured, so if these people accept his kindness and leave from here, it will be a good thing for us too." The imperial advisor then says to those people, "But how can I trust these people? They have committed treachery once. So what is the guarantee that even after going with you, they won't commit treachery again? That they won't hatch any conspiracy against us again?" We see the old Buddha, the Venerable One, say, "If the imperial advisor wants to support my suggestion, I will be happy." Then he looks at the other three old monsters and asks, "Tell me, what do you think about this?" These three understood which way the wind was blowing, so they drop their weapons and say, "We surrender, and we are going back with you to your Thunderclap Monastery. We swear that we will never take a single step out of there against your will." Hearing this, the imperial advisor was satisfied. But then his gaze falls on the injured man nearby, the general, and he says, "Take him with you as soon as possible. He is very talented, so he should not die." The old Buddha was also very happy. But then the imperial advisor, pointing towards the masked man, says, "Everyone will go, but he will stay here." Hearing this, the old man says, "We have no karmic cause with this man, nor has he ever had any connection with any member of my sect. So what to do with him, you know better." Saying this, he orders the young scholars and the other advisors, "Come back with me." He extends the hand of the Buddha statue towards them. We see those three apologizing to the masked man, saying, "Forgive us, but we have to go." Saying this, the three of them board the statue. As they were about to leave, the masked man looks at the imperial advisor and asks, "What do you want to do with me?" The imperial advisor says in clear words, "I will take you to the capital where you will face the emperor." Hearing this, the masked man laughs loudly and says, "You have been showing power even beyond your authority for so many years. You have had your way in everything. And today you suddenly remembered that there is an emperor here who is above you, under whom you come. Yes, one thing I know well is that one day the royal family will be completely killed and finished at your hands." Saying this, he crushes his own skull with his hands. Everyone is stunned. Qin Mu, seeing all this, says, "The imperial advisor forced him to take his own life by mentioning facing the emperor. Because if people found out about the conflict between the Ling family and the imperial advisor, the entire kingdom would be divided into two factions. When that happens, the ruler and the governor will be separate. This would not only put the Ling family in danger but the entire nation, and the imperial advisor or the emperor would never want that." Then the old Buddha says to the imperial advisor, "If the matters here are resolved, then I would like to go." To which he says, "I hope you have a good journey." After which the old Buddha starts taking all his people away. As their ride passes in front of Qin Mu, the old Buddha tries to talk to him and gives respect. We see the master forbidding Qin Mu, saying he should be cautious. Then Qin Mu also gives him respect. During this, the old Buddha's gaze falls on Yunxia, and he says, "How unfortunate that the shackles do not preserve this bond between us." With this, they move forward and say, "Everyone remember one thing, a thought is like a seed, and as you sow, so shall you reap. Karma leaves no one, so think once before doing anything and take any decision wisely." They leave, and then we see Jia, who says, "Master, why did you do that? You are the leader of our sect, so how can you accept his greetings? And now, by accepting his greetings, you have revealed your identity, which means danger will increase for you." Hearing her, Qin Mu says, "I am the leader of the demonic sect, and I know well what I am doing. He just greeted me with respect, so what's the harm in replying? This proves we are equals, no one is smaller or bigger. As for my identity, everyone has to find out sooner or later. What's wrong with him knowing the truth? I couldn't show that my sect members have no leader. How could I let you feel inferior before him?" To this, everyone angrily says, "It would have been better to be ashamed for life than to talk to him." Seeing this, Qin Mu falls silent and then says, You guys should be a bit careful. Don't you think as your sect leader I deserve a little respect? The scene shifts, and we see those three old monsters talking among themselves. They say to the old Buddha, "You heard yourself that the imperial advisor of Yan Kong said he is very badly injured right now. So why didn't we take advantage of this opportunity?" The old Buddha says, "Everyone who believed his words has been defeated. Some have even been killed, and for some, there's no trace left." Everyone was surprised. The old Buddha further explains, based on the imperial advisor's wisdom, strategy, and talent, if he doesn't become a sage in the future, I am sure he will become an unstoppable demon lord. The scene shifts to the battle arena, where we see the entire army of Yan Kong has arrived and was clearing the dead bodies. It is mentioned that not only the hereditary lord, Scholar Kong, and Qin Dayu surrendered, but Dao Dao Ken also escaped from here. We see the imperial advisor listening to all this while cleaning his sword. Duke Wei further says, "You slaughtered all the cult leader level masters and finished them. In doing so, you have uprooted this 600-year-old rebellion. The time is not far when we will achieve their total annihilation and wipe them out." Then we see Qin Mu and all the other scholars arrive. They all head back towards the academy. Night had fallen. During the night, we see the imperial advisor whose health starts deteriorating. Seeing this, Duke Wei asks, "Are your injuries okay?" The imperial advisor says, "I think I will have to trouble Scholar Qin again to heal me." Duke is surprised and says, "Are you joking? Is it really true that he healed you?" The Emperor, imperial advisor, answers yes. To this, Duke Wei says, No, I am not going to believe you. Only a madman would believe you. Because everyone who believed your words is currently buried under the ground." Then his gaze falls on the coffin going ahead, and seeing it, he says to the imperial advisor, "You know well who is inside this coffin, right?" The imperial advisor doesn't answer. Duke says, "All right, no need to tell. But I can tell just by looking. Once I reach the capital, I will find out, and I would like to see which old prince was killed at your hands. Just let me reach there, and I will find out everything." Then, looking at the imperial advisor, he looks around, goes near his ear, and says, "Don't worry, the emperor trusts you, but not the crown prince." Hearing this, the imperial advisor falls into thought. Duke Wei further says, "There are some internal conflicts in the Ling family. There are many problems within them that need to be settled. And now you know that another member of the Ling family is against you. So don't you think you should take a big step? If so, what will be your next step?" Then the color fades from Duke Wei's face because the imperial advisor looks at him with very strange eyes and says, "It would be better if you do the work given to you. Your job is to erase the traces of the rebels, so focus on that. And focus on clearing the remaining rebels in the south as soon as possible. As for other things, there is no need to talk about them." Saying this, he leaves. The scene shifts to Qin Mu, who says while focusing, "The piece of Demon Emperor Du Tian's consciousness is still present inside me." He focuses on his 5 major points and asks, "Why is this happening?" "It is happening because the imperial advisor is near me right now. Demon God Du Tian has some other plan." As soon as he opens his eyes, the imperial advisor was in front of him, who tells Qin Mu, "I am injured, so I want you to heal me." Qin Mu can't believe it but starts his work. During this, the imperial advisor thinks to himself, "When we go back to the capital, the emperor will honor Qin Mu and everyone else with great respect." Then he says to Qin Mu, "You should also be happy about this." To which he says, "It's just a matter of title and position, it's nothing more to me. But yes, I am more interested in your rewards than mine. I would like to know what the emperor honors you with." The imperial advisor says, "If the emperor honors me with many beautiful ladies and wealth, should I accept it?" Qin Mu says, "What else do you want besides this? Or what other thing is there through which the emperor can reward you?" He says, "Nothing." Hearing this, Qin Mu says, "Then you should accept whatever you are getting." Hearing this, the imperial advisor looks at him. Then Qin Mu asks, "Anyway, I want to know if our imperial advisor has family members." He explains, "Well, there are some old servants and some guards." Qin Mu asks, "How much money do you have?" He says, "My monthly salary is enough for me." Qin Mu says, "Do you really have no wife or children?" He says, "I have a very big responsibility, and due to the heavenly principle in my heart, what need do I have for these worldly desires? I just have to keep following the path of my heart." Saying this, he looks at the moon. Qin Mu laughs and says, "I think the imperial advisor should get married and settle down." He smiles even more. The scene shifts, and we see the emperor shouting, "What, 30%? What are you saying?" The guard explains, yes, you heard right. 30% of the scholars from the Imperial Academy who were sent to the battle arena are missing. Hearing this, the emperor starts panicking and says while pacing, how can this happen? They are the backbone of our future. These people were the pillars of our Kong dynasty, on whose shoulders this dynasty would move forward. How can this happen? But I will not spare that traitor who leaked our information, because of whom the traitors surrounded and tried to kill them. Then he starts calculating. Besides the first-rank officials, only you and I knew about this mission, and the Crown Prince's teachers knew about it. Then comes the minister, the marshal, and the duke. These three also knew. We see the servant is in a bad state. He was lying before him with his head bowed. The emperor comes near him and says, open your mouth. Hearing this, the man gets even more scared and says while panting, Emperor, I don't know anything. I haven't told anyone. As he tries to lift his head, the emperor grabs his head and says, tell me, what is going on in your heart? Who do you find more suspicious? The man gets even more scared and says, Emperor, I think the Crown Prince's tutor is very suspicious. Hearing this, the emperor gets even angrier, his eyes wide, and then tells him to leave. The man breathes a sigh of relief and starts to leave, but the emperor stops him and asks, the imperial advisor has done a very good job by clearing out the traitors of Kong, so in your opinion, what should I reward him with? We see he falls into thought and says, what else can we give him? The imperial advisor has already been given the highest rank. Then he realizes that the emperor might be testing him because he was previously the Crown Prince's tutor, and naturally, the Crown Prince and his tutor have been enemies of Kong, so it would be better to say something else. He says, Emperor, in the history of Kong, no imperial advisor has been given power or status like this. But if I talk about this matter, our imperial advisor is still a bachelor, and when he is free from work, there is no one to look after him. So I think we should get him married. You can honor him with beauty and wealth. Hearing this, the emperor smiles and says, just as I thought, but I tried this before, and he refused. And if I give him the same thing again, he will refuse again. I know this too. Hearing this, Minister Gu says, do you think the imperial advisor is a fool? He is very clever. How can he accept something openly until you force him? Hearing this, the emperor starts laughing and says, you are no less clever either. After which he tells him to go. As he is leaving, he warns him again, I want you not to try to provoke the grand scholar because if he loses his mind, trouble will increase for you, and you can't even imagine his influence in our dynasty. Hearing this, the minister understands what the emperor wants and leaves. The emperor, looking at his dynasty, thinks to himself, I was very young when I took the entire responsibility on my shoulders, and it is no ordinary thing to handle the responsibility of the throne at such a young age. I have even seen many of my sons die before my eyes. But it seems the Crown Prince can't wait anymore. He can't even wait as long as I did. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you all liked today's video very much. If yes, then like the video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe. So see you in the next video. Until then, bye.